Let me tell you an old story that happened a long time ago. But first, have you ever had a teacher whose lessons were so wild they felt more like magic than science? At Westbrook High, Ms. Dalton was already something of a myth, not in the loud, attention-grabbing way, just the kind of teacher students talked about years after they graduated. Rumors said she once froze a flower using liquid nitrogen in the middle of a lecture, or turned the entire lab into a glow-in-the-dark rave to teach about phosphorescence. But none of that prepared me for what she did my junior year. I was failing chemistry, scraping by with a D. My dad told me if I didn't bring it up, I'd have to quit working weekends at the cafe. My only real break from school. I needed that job. I needed the money. "Elias, stay after class," she said one rainy Thursday, eyes never leaving the lab bench where she was cleaning glassware. My heart sank. Ms. Dalton's after-class chats were legendary. No one left the room the same. Once everyone had gone, she leaned against the table. "You're failing." "I know, I'm trying." "No excuses. You either figure this out or you don't." She wasn't scolding me. She was just honest. "Be here Saturday, 5:45 a.m. Wear something you don't mind staining." "Wait, what?" "Your choice," she said, and that was it. Saturday morning, I showed up in the fog, convinced I was walking into a punishment. Instead, she tossed me a lab coat and pointed to the back of her van. It was packed with boxes. "We're going off campus," she said. "Is this even allowed?" She smirked. "Not remotely." We drove 40 minutes to a warehouse kitchen outside the city. Stainless steel counters, dry ice tanks, a stand mixer the size of a lawnmower. "Today," she said, we're making edible science." Turns out Ms. Dalton moonlighted as a consultant for experimental restaurants, molecular gastronomy, foam, spheres, smoke, the works. "We're going to isolate reactions. You'll feel them, taste them, see them." We made carbonated fruit, frozen creme brulee with nitrogen, lemon juice caviar using reverse spherification. Between each step, she'd quiz me. "What kind of bond is forming here? What's the role of the acid? Why does temperature change the emulsion?" Somewhere between the vacuum sealer and the maltodextrin powder, the concepts clicked. Chemistry wasn't about numbers and panic. It was about transformation. We spent 6 hours there. I took notes on everything. Monday morning, she handed me my last quiz. An A, underlined. "I didn't take this," I said. "No," she replied, "but your hands did." By the end of the term, I was top of the class. When I got into culinary school on scholarship, she was the first person I told. She showed up to my final showcase a year later with a plate of dry ice meringue and a proud smile. "You know," I said, "you probably could have been fired for that field trip." She shrugged. Some reactions only happen when the environment's just right. I didn't find out until years later that the school district had suspended her for it. 2 weeks, no pay. She never mentioned it.